Sundhnúkur Crater Eruption Update. Volcanic Activity and Air Quality Insights. A dramatic volcanic spectacle is unfolding in Iceland's Sundhnúkur crater row, captivating scientists and observers alike. But here's where it gets controversial. While lava continues to flow steadily, experts warn that the real danger might not be the eruption itself, but the sudden, unpredictable surges that could emerge from beneath its surface. Could this be the most significant eruption in recent memory? Let's dive into the details and explore what makes this event both fascinating and fraught with uncertainty. The eruption's current state. As of July 25, 2025, volcanic activity has stabilized after a brief decline, with lava still flowing east and southeast from the main crater. The molten rock has spread within a kilometer of the source, though movement at the outer edges is minimal, primarily thickening rather than advancing. A thin crust has formed atop the lava, a fragile layer that could rupture suddenly, sending surges racing forward without warning. This poses a critical risk, especially in the southern lava field near Sundhnúkur, where authorities have flagged the highest hazard levels. Seismic tremors have fluctuated recently, likely due to the crater's internal dynamics of buildup and collapse. Experts caution against over-interpreting these fluctuations, as weather and surface shifts can skew measurements. Ground deformation data from Svartsengi show no changes, suggesting magma inflow and outflow are in equilibrium. This balance is crucial. It indicates the eruption is being sustained by magma from deeper crustal layers, not a sudden surge of new material. Gas pollution and public health. The environmental impact extends far beyond the lava. Sulfur dioxide, SO2, emissions remain a pressing concern. Today's measurements reveal a significant drop in SO2 levels, with emissions now between 25 to 44 kilograms per second. However, volcanic haze, SO4, formed when SO2 reacts with atmospheric moisture and oxygen, lingers in populated areas. This haze, composed of fine sulfate particles, can travel hundreds of kilometers and persist for days. Vulnerable groups, children, the elderly, and those with respiratory conditions are urged to limit outdoor exposure and monitor air quality updates. Wind patterns play a pivotal role in pollution dispersion. Southeastern winds today are carrying SO2 northwest, affecting areas like Njarðvík and Keflavík. By evening, a shift to northwesterly winds could bring pollution to Grindavik. Tomorrow, stronger afternoon winds on Reykjanes may push pollutants southeast. Yet overnight reports show minimal haze, offering a brief reprieve. Hazard maps and proactive measures. A revised hazard map is now in effect until July 29th, incorporating the latest wind forecasts and lava flow data. This map highlights the dynamic nature of the eruption's risks, with yellow zones indicating moderate hazards from gas and lava. While the color codes remain unchanged, the updated map reflects evolving lava field boundaries and variable wind directions. Tourists and locals are advised to consult daily forecasts and prioritize safety when visiting the area. What's next? And this is the part most people miss: the interplay between magma movement and seismic activity. Recent GNSS data show minor deformation, suggesting the seismic swarm's intensity is lower than previous events. However, a dike intrusion beneath Sundhnúksgígad is moving southward, not northward as initially expected. This shift raises questions. Could this alter the eruption's trajectory? Might new fissures open in unexpected locations? Public engagement is vital. The Icelandic Meteorological Office, IMO, urges residents to track gas dispersion models. https://en.verjur.is for volcanoes fagardalsfall eruption and air quality reports. https://lofgede.isen. For health guidance, the Directorate of Health's resources, https://iceland.is EEN for volcanic eruption health, offer actionable tips to mitigate exposure. A call for caution and curiosity. As the eruption continues, the interplay of science and nature remains unpredictable. Will the lava field expand further, or will activity wane? How will shifting winds reshape pollution patterns? We invite you to weigh in. Do you think the current safety measures are sufficient, or should more be done to protect communities? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and stay tuned for updates that could reshape our understanding of this volcanic phenomenon. Tourists' adventures at the eruption site, a Reddit-inspired journey. Tourists turn to Reddit for eruption updates. A significant influx of tourists flocked to the eruption sites yesterday, as reported by mbl.is Caritas. A continuous flow of international visitors made their way to the Sundhnúkur crater row, while locals from Iceland were noticeably scarce in the vicinity. In interviews conducted by mbl.is, tourists expressed that they had been closely monitoring news regarding the eruption and its potential hazards prior to their visit. Interestingly, many cited Reddit as their main source of information. Despite the Icelandic Tourist Board's warnings against visiting the eruption sites, many tourists at Sundhnúkur appear to be unaware of these advisories, with several being inadequately prepared for the conditions. A surprising adventure inspired by film. Swati Bindra and Yotaditya Singh, a couple from New Jersey, were enjoying a scenic view of the eruption when the reporter approached them. "This is incredible. We were just discussing how this wasn't even on our bucket list because it seems so far-fetched to experience things like this," Bindra remarked. Singh chimed in, "We just watched The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, which features a volcanic eruption." Having been in Norway when the eruption first occurred last week, they decided to take advantage of the opportunity to visit Iceland. Discovering new vocabulary in volcanic contexts. When asked if they were aware of the Icelandic Tourism Authority's warnings against visiting the eruption site, they mentioned they were trying to act like other tourists and maintain a safe distance. "We know about the toxic gases, but we're hopeful we'll have a story to tell later," Bindra said. In response to where they had primarily gathered their information about the eruption, they noted that they had read extensively on Reddit as well as reputable media outlets like the New York Times. They also shared that they learned a new term related to volcanic steam, VOG, which is a contraction of volcanic fog. Engaging with Reddit discussions. Another pair of American tourists, Aaron Shuma and Sean Hilbert from New York City, were also observing the eruption from the same location and echo similar sentiments regarding their information sources. "I've been following Reddit threads. Lots of people are sharing updates about the eruption there because it's such a hot topic right now," Shuma explained. They acknowledge the warnings from authorities about staying away from the eruption site. "We understand we shouldn't get too close, but we just wanted to be near enough to see it," they said. Being asked about their experience, Shuma exclaimed, "It's absolutely beautiful." Hilbert added, "It's far more powerful than I anticipated. It's truly majestic." Families in the eruption zone. Numerous families were spotted in the eruption area, including some with infants and strollers. The reporter spoke with a Danish couple, Lena and Marin Kullner Auguston, who were heading to the eruption site with their 3 children. They mentioned that they had sourced their information from more reliable websites than Reddit, specifically the Icelandic Meteorological Office's site, vedur.is and visitreykjanes.is. The family had been exploring Iceland for nearly 2 weeks. When asked if they were eager to see the eruption after it began last week, Lena responded, "We kept a close watch on the developments and wanted to go if it became feasible, but we weren't fixated on it." When asked if the children were excited about witnessing the eruption, she affirmed, "Absolutely. If the parents are excited, the kids naturally get excited too." A surreal experience. German tourist Isabel Siegert, who was departing the eruption site with her 10-year-old daughter, described the experience as surreal, noting that her daughter particularly enjoyed it. "The eruption sounded like the ocean, which really took us by surprise," Siegert remarked. When asked if she was aware of the tourism authorities' advisories against visiting the eruption, she admitted she was not informed. "However, we certainly understood the potential dangers and kept a vigilant eye on various websites to determine if visiting was safe." What do you think? As we see tourists flocking to potentially dangerous sites, it raises questions about the balance between adventure and safety. Should tourists rely on social media for critical information? What are your thoughts on this? Share your opinions in the comments.